been officially extended for another 2 weeks. What does this mean for us? This means more time indoors. Now, what has been interesting for me is actually witnessing the kind of activities that we've been getting up to during this lockdown. I have witnessed people getting more and more fit, sharing their exercise videos and routines. That is very, very inspiring, and I want to encourage you to please keep those coming. Keep doing what you're doing. It's really making a difference. Apart from that, it has been really interesting to see how many people have taken to taking care of their children at home, the dance challenges, oh my goodness. What's interesting is that our president this year declared 2020 to be the year of introspection. And who would have known that we were actually going to be given so much time to sit and do that introspection. Now, in as much as there's so many exciting activities that are happening during this lockdown, there is something that quite bothers me, and it is the news headlines or the news articles that we're reading about the treatment of black people in China. I'm going to be a bit controversial on this because it's something that we need to talk about and really share ideas on. Why is this happening? Why are we always the victims? Why are the black people always the victims in the world? Is the rest of the world so bad and we are always the victims? Or is there something that perhaps we could do differently? Here's my 2 cents. I think it doesn't matter how history played out. What's important is what are we African people doing to improve our own livelihoods? What are our leaders doing to improve our livelihoods? The moment when we cannot take care of ourselves, the moment when we approach others as though we are beggars, as though we cannot help ourselves, I think it goes on until such a point where people actually start to lose respect. We need to sit back and ask ourselves, how can we earn respect from the rest of the world? Why do they have so much power to treat us the way that they treat us? I think that as black people, let us try to be more productive with our time. These are times where we need to actually encourage and see what can we do differently so that we can be self-sustainable, self-reliant, and not always approach the West for assistance to the point where they feel that they can mistreat black people because they have nowhere to go, or back home is actually more of a messier situation than where they are. I think let's just try to stop with this blame game. I don't know if anybody feels the way that I do, but this is my opinion. I just think that at some point we need to take responsibility for our lives and the contribution that we make in the world. Let us try to be more productive. Let us try to be self-reliant. Let us encourage manufacturing activities in our countries. It's never too late. If we decide to make that change, that can happen. But the moment that we are always trying to reach out to the rest of the world for assistance because we cannot help ourselves, this calls for the kind of treatments that we're getting. And I do not condone the treatment that's happening. I'm not saying that it is right, but I'm just saying as Africans, let us try to stand up and make a difference, a positive difference in our own lives by being more active in developmental activities in our own country. A few things that we could do. If there's assistance that we can render to the local community, raise funds as a community, get an equipment for a clinic, that will make a difference. Get some painting work done, train our children to be nurses and be proud of professions that we sometimes look down on. I think these are small things that we can do to make sure that we actually are proud of who we are and we are making a difference in our own life without the assistance of anybody from the West. But let us try to do with less consumption of what the West produce. It's not about you driving a Bentley. It's not about being in some city somewhere in the West and bragging or feeling like you've made it, but it's more about creating your own Bentley, your African version of a Bentley, your own Louis Vuitton. Let us have our own brands that we are proud of. Let us manufacture and make these brands. Let us be people who are consuming their own products, their own manufactured items, and maybe just maybe we won't be calling the rest of the world racist. That's my 2 cents. I don't know what you think about, but I'm keen to hear what you have to say. So let us make this year the year of introspection. Let's make it fun. Until next time.